Do, 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 do. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Kimberly. Welcome to the stream. Texas Mopar. Welcome to the stream, Texas Mopar. I'm guessing that's what it is, TX Mopar. Good morning from Texas. Well, obviously that tells you right there, Texas Mopar. Tell you really quick, speaking of Mopar, my friends and my family all hate my truck. They all say it looks like crap because, you know, it's a 96 Dodge 1500 cab and a half. But that thing runs like there's no goddamn tomorrow. And it's going to outlive me. Good morning, Chatterbox. Connie, Short Nice, Cement Shoes, Jabberjaws, Tracy. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to turn the camera off for a minute. I'm still here. You feel the same about your Corolla? Yeah. I've never owned a Corolla. My wife had the option to get a Corolla a while back, but she chose a 65 VW Bug instead. Her dad has a kind of an addiction to buying cars, and he gave her the option. He's like, "Look, you can have this 4-door Corolla, or you can have this 2-door, Bug." She chose the Bug. If it gets you from A to B, it's true. I should get smokestacks for your Corolla. Yeah, put a blower in it. I actually know somebody who did that, Mike. They took not a Corolla, but they took a I think it was like a mid-70s Volvo, and they put a 350 in it, and with a blower. I mean, the thing was like a freaking drag racer. But he had to change the mounts and everything else and build, the front end of it up just to hold the damn motor. But he did it. I was like, why? He's like, because I always wanted to. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Cement Shoes. I've driven Corollas to work for 20 years. My commute is long. Good morning, K-Love. Kia Forte. I'm actually bidding on a Kia Soul right now. I have a friend who owns it's not a, well, try to, how do you explain his business? It's a towing company. First off, that's number one. But he also does impounds for the police department, sheriff's department, state patrol, and he also sells cars that he gets cars in, he tows them, and then maybe they have notes that people owe money on the cars still, or trucks, or whatever it might be. Sometimes he even gets boats and RVs, but then the companies that you have so much time to come pick the items up, your car out up and get it out of impound, or out of his yard, and people don't do it. So, and then he auctions them off. And he's got a Kia Soul right now that it's up for auction. I'm bidding on it. I think I'm at 2,700 or 2,800 right now. I probably won't win it though. It'll probably go for 6,000, somewhere in there. Just a few more years, and my kids will be out. Then I'll get an F-250 that you've always wanted. Never owned an F-250. I have a 1970 F-100. It's a 2-door single cab, but I like it. That's my baby. I've probably spent way more on that damn thing than I'm ever going to get out of it, Mike. I did so far. We took it completely off the cab, off the frame, and everything else, and I'm restoring it from the ground up. The motor is actually sitting in the garage right now on the engine stand. Good morning, Lisa. Mike Stevens. Anna King, good morning. You want an F-350? I've never owned anything like that, 250 or 350. I mean, if people I know, there's certain years you want to avoid. Auntie Morlane, good afternoon. Hope you are doing okay. I'm getting better, Auntie Moore. Good morning, Queen C. Hope you are doing well this morning. Might get a Humvee. There used to be a time where you could pick up the surplus Humvees for cheap. Miss Wee Lassie, good afternoon. How's the weather over at your place? It's raining and sleet, strong winds here. Not so sunny in Scotland. See, the weather forecast today here is supposed to be in the 50s, but they're calling for high winds. I think it's like sustained winds of 10 to 15, gusts of 20, something like that. Good morning, Mel. It's getting better, slowly but surely, sweetheart. F-250 Platinum. Sounds like a nice truck, Mike. Good vibes. You got this. Elbow cough. Snowy's journey. It's freezing, windy, and blowing lots of snow where you are. I'm sorry. Yeah, my sister, her family, they got her extended family, from her husband's side, they got absolutely dumped on, snow wise. They've got a good amount of snow up in upstate Minnesota where she lives, but most of her extended family is down in the Illinois, Michigan, down that way. But they got absolutely dumped on. K-Love, you hate the wind? Negative 25, supposed to get even colder. Wow. We're having a warm 32 degrees here today. Almost time to dig out the sunscreen. It's freezing cold. It's supposed to be summer. And you're loving it, Mel? I answered your poll about what kind of content do you like. I just saw it this morning. It said it was a day ago, but I just saw it this morning. Edmonton. Juno, welcome to the stream, Juno. I hope you're having a wonderful day today, Juno. Easily distracted. Happy Saturday. And happy Saturday to you, too. Easily distracted. But yeah, weather is nothing. There's nothing I can do about that. I had things I wanted to do outside today, but doesn't. If we're going to have high wind gusts, I'm certainly not going to be able to do those. Sandra, good morning. Beautiful day in Mexico. That's cool. Took a break, much needed. It helped. Hope you're good. What jobs you got planned for the week, Will? I have so much to do, but little inspiration to you. Well, I was going to clean all the windows on the downstairs from. I've been meaning to do this. This is going to sound stupid, but this is how much of a procrastinator I am. We have hard water where I live, and two of the sprinklers in the front yard, they blow when the wind blows, it blows the water towards the downstairs windows of our house. So I was going to clean the windows off, and yeah, I have to get on a step ladder to do it, but clean that hard water off, put CLR on them, and it takes it right off. But you can't just do it with a hose. I was going to do that. Then I was going to start on, with the help of my daughter, she was going to run the mantis. It's like a tiller in the garden to get that prepped and ready. And then I was going to plant some bulbs in the front yard because we noticed that the bulbs are starting to come up. Will, did you hear about the new app called Crime Door? No, I've never heard of the app called Crime Door. What is it about? Sandra, I'm glad you enjoyed the video. I'm trying to do one on Gary Ridgway, but it's becoming more and more difficult as it goes along because of he was in Walla Walla State Penitentiary. He's in Colorado. I posted this in my community tab in reply to. I posted a reply to Cece. Excuse me, about it, but the two wardens are being, real pains in the ass. I'm good. Was sick for 3 weeks. So glad you're better. Kimmy Jean, hi everyone. Hope all is well. Welcome to the stream, Kimmy Jean. Blue West, good morning. Welcome to the stream, sweetheart. Good weeks before I can start yard work. In Windows, 6 weeks. Wow. Not here. It's we probably got maybe 2 weeks, and then it's going to probably be in the 70s. We're pretty much done with our winter weather for the year, and our until April, and then we get our April showers, But Michelle P, good morning. Are you familiar with Todd Gallup, South Carolina? No, I am not. KOLOH. PP. South Carolina. I wrote it down. Serial killer who was a successful real estate agent. Wow. You got hail last week, Queen C, and your son saved some in a cup? My son is absolutely enamored by weather. He doesn't. It's not so much the wind. It's like snow and rain. It's and then just the stars in the sky at night. We got one of these lights in his bedroom where it moves the stars around and on the ceiling. He loves that. He'll just lay there. Sometimes in the afternoon, he'll just go in there and turn off the lights, and he'll turn that light on, and he'll just sit there and watch the lights, the stars and the constellations. It's actually pretty cool. I think my wife got it off of. I don't want. No, it wasn't Amazon. I can't remember the name of the company though. It was right there on the tip of my tongue though. Better Image. She got it from Better Image, and it shows the stars in the sky, but then as it turns, it actually shows the constellations. Of like the Big Dipper and in Aquarius and stuff like that. So you can see where the stars are the whole time, but then it actually puts lines in for the constellations. It's actually pretty cool, and it just screws in like where a normal light socket would go on a ceiling, and it's got its own shade and everything. So you can turn it on and off with the little tiny remote about that big. That's the hardest part, is trying to figure out where the hell he put the remote. Do you cover any stories or just mainstream ones, Will? Snowy's Journey? No, I cover a lot of stories, as long as it's true crime related, in some fashion, because that's what people are here on my channel for. But no, I cold cases. I have a new series that just started, true crime stories in under 8 minutes. I also have true crime definitions, mainstream stories, stuff that's in the news right now currently. A little bit of everything, as long as it's true crime related. You should check out The Murder of Swedish Journalist Kim Wall. Involves a homemade submarine dismemberment and a killer called Peter Madsen. Quite a recent case. Kim Wall. All right, I wrote it down, but I can't guarantee anything though. Yeah, I'll look into it though. That's the most I can guarantee. A lot of cases though, it's hard to cover them because just because it was in the media and maybe it was on ABC or NBC or Fox, whoever may have done the actual story originally, trying to get documentation to prove the story behind it can be very difficult, especially in certain parts of the U.S. and around the world. They don't have investigative journalists, I guess, like they do everywhere. Good morning, Didi. Monroe, Michigan was raped and killed. She was put in cement alive. She was only 5 years old. No one has ever been arrested. Would love to for you to look into that one. Never from Monroe. I have a series that I've done on missing and exploited. So if I did it, I would cover it underneath that play series. It's intriguing. Well, took a hell of a lot of divers out of the ocean to find the evidence. Amazing work by the detectives. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Mandy. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Did Lazy Marquette channel. Oh, like heaven backwards. Oh. I didn't. No, that's exactly how I spelled it. It is heaven backwards. Huh. I'll definitely look into it. Is it 2 E's? Well, I'm sure I can, if from Monroe, I can definitely find it that way. The other case that someone suggested to me, I didn't write it down. Who suggested it was Rose and Fred West from the UK. I guess they both killed somebody, or one of them. I'll find out. But I just saw that this morning in the comment section on the Jodi Arias video. So I'll look into it later on this. Well, probably I'll start Monday. It's just how you pronounce it, how it's spelt it. Okay. Good morning, Kevin. Big case over here in the West. Rose, you're talking about Rose and Fred West? Because there's another case that about the last name of Rose that I was actually listening to. Criminally Listed, the YouTube channel, Cement Shoes. I watch Criminally Listed. I'm not a subscriber, but I do check out their content every now and then. Newborn girl, yeah. Manny Hall representing Super Chat. Thank you. I can't Super Chat, but Will deserves. Oh, thank you, Didi. I just appreciate everybody being here. And I appreciate the Super Chats and those who get the super stickers and stuff, and make, PayPal donations and stuff like that. And I really do. I mean, I don't want to downplay it, but, I just never ask for it. And I'm appreciative of it. But I'm also very appreciative of the fact that anybody comes to my live streams or watches my content, because just watching the content alone is helping me enough. Just give it a thumbs up if you like the content. I love 5343. My niece's name is never that. That's so cool. Queen Sue, I think it's a beautiful name. Shelly Williams, good morning. Love channel. Usable stuff. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Shelly. I hope you are having a wonderful day today. Zodiac is very interesting. The Zodiac Killer, I would love to dive into that. I would love it. I mean, I've read so much about the Zodiac Killer. The first thing that hooked me was Robert Graysmith's book, The Zodiac. And after I read that book front and back, and I have every single version of that book that's ever been put out. I always found it very fascinating and surprising that they never caught the Zodiac, because there are a lot of things. If you take that entire case and everything that happened in that case and you move it forward just 10 years, they would have caught the Zodiac for sure. It just happened to be in the right time, in the right place and location, in the U.S. where, technology hadn't caught up to the case yet, and investigative, the detectives didn't know all the right tools, and they didn't know what questions to ask or where to look. But as it went forward, I mean, nowadays, if it happened, the first thing they would do, instead of like, letting a million people handle the letters that they were sent to the newspaper, they would take those letters and they would dust them for latent prints. They would match that paper to other stock paper, try to find little things, clues here and there that would have helped to lead to the arrest of the Zodiac, but not then. For you, Mel, you don't have to hit the thumbs up. You really do brighten so many people's days. You may not get enough views and subscribers, Mel, but trust me, there's a lot of people out there that are just like me, where you make our day. Just watching, your sense of humor there's nothing else like it. It really does. It helps a lot of people. Ton of cold Jane Doe solved lately too. Have you ever done anything on H.H. Holmes? No, Connie, I haven't. I haven't released anything on this channel about H.H. Holmes. I was on a podcast every once in a while. I wouldn't say it was regularly, but I did 7 or 8 episodes of it. And one of those episodes that I was on, it was on the podcast Murderers Row, but they've been shut down. They gave up and closed the entire thing up, which kind of sucks. But anyways, but we talked about the H.H. Holmes on there, and we went into great detail about the his murder castle, whatever you want to call it, his hotel. I want to get those episodes that I was on. I would love to be able to put them on someplace, Patreon or somewhere. There's no video video aspect of it, so it's just me talking and other people who are on the panel talking. So it wouldn't really work on YouTube per se, because there's YouTube is a visual platform. I don't know if we were wondering about this the other day. Me and my wife were wondering if those episodes are archived on SoundCloud, because that's where it was. It was a podcast on SoundCloud called Murderers Row. Short Nice, her channel is Mel, MEL space MEL, Mel. And it's got the same little character that she has right here as her icon on for her channel. But that definitely, I got to check it out sometime though. Maybe consider doing. I don't know if I could cover it in just one video though. H.H. Holmes. I probably have to make it kind of like a little tiny mini series of like 2 or 3 videos to do any justice to H.H. Holmes, and because you'd have to give context to who Holmes was, and then go into the actual murders and everything else that he did. Excuse me. They executed Holmes on your birthday? I didn't know that, Cement Shoes. About 100 years ago. So you're not 100? Stephanie Harlow, I believe, covered Holmes. She does a good job. Stephanie, I watch her channel as well. I like her content. Don't get me wrong, and don't take this the wrong way, please. I like her content. Her more recent content, I like how she's developed from where she started to now. But I like Stephanie. She does a good job over on her channel. I never expected the Delphi case would go this long unsolved. Neither did I. I think we're, K-Love, we're both in the same shoe. There, a lot of people didn't think it was going to take this long to solve it, but it has. I think the police know a lot more than they're letting everybody know. I think they know probably who it is. They're just looking for that one piece of evidence to be able to put the whole thing together. And somebody out there knows it. Either an eyewitness, somebody saw the car, somebody saw them coming off the trail. It's not a highly trafficked trail, but the street there that goes by where people park. I mean, it could be something that is not insignificant, but it could just be like you saw somebody coming off the trail, getting into a car that was either there in that parking area or across the street, and there's no CCTV that I'm aware of that area, but Google Maps, an image, there's got to be something. All it needs, it feels like it's right there though. I love storytelling. Have to watch that chapter. Oh, that chapter on YouTube, the channel. I've watched some. There's a lot of good YouTube channels out there. There really are, small and large. There's some channels that get almost no traffic at all, subscribers or views, and they're absolutely killing it. Was it Southern Crimes? There's another channel I just recently stumbled across, but I think it's called Southern Crimes. But she does a series of she puts them in blocks of 5 or 6 different cold cases that have recently been solved, but they're usually cases from the South. I'd have to look it up, but I'm sure that I'm not sure the channel's name is called Southern Crimes. I'll look it up after the stream, and I'll put a link in the comments, the community tab. I'll put one there, so if you guys want to check it out. The big ones have a production crew. Short Nice. There are channels that are out there on YouTube with 20, 30,000 subscribers that are just starting off. Maybe they started last December, and they have huge budgets. They have backing, and sometimes a lot of them they're taking money from advertisers and stuff, on top of it all. It's like them or not. BuzzFeed, they do true crime cases. They have a true crime channel, but everything that's on their channel goes by a series of editors, and they make sure that it's okay with the advertisers that are going to be advertising and supporting their content. So I never want to get into that position where I'm actually having to look to somebody else and say, is it okay if I cover H.H. Holmes? Is it okay if I do another video on Lori Vallow? I'm trying to think of the word here, kind of stumbling along here, but I've been approached to have certain videos sponsored by certain companies, advertisers. I won't give their names, but they wanted me to not only do promotional video for their whatever they do, sell, or what the service that they have, but at the same time they wanted me to do a series of videos and have them sponsored by them, but they wanted to see the video before I actually aired it. I don't ever want to get into that position. But there are a lot of channels like that, though. Did I hear about Marilyn Manson's allegations? Yeah. Yeah, I did. I read about it yesterday. Let's just say that Marilyn Manson is a lot of what people think about Marilyn Manson is just a gimmick. It's put on for shock and awe. But what he is accused of doing is completely different from his persona. What you see out here in the public. Southern Mom, is she here? I'm sorry I missed you, Southern Mom. There you are. One of the tough cookie, Mel. So glad things are getting better. Good morning, Southern Mom. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Ain't that the truth? He's also a kinky, you know what? I don't know him, so I know what he talks about, what he sings about, and the media the persona that he puts out there for the media. But I know I've seen the interviews with him and Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails and his Interscope Records label, and he's not the same person that he puts out there for in the media, at least from what I've seen. Good morning, Red Rob. I hope you are doing well this morning, and welcome to the stream. Your final score for the Super Bowl or Puppy Bowl? I'm more interested in watching the Puppy Bowl than the Super Bowl. I don't know. See, if I have to guess, I'm going to go Kansas City for the win. Mahomes, 5 touchdowns. I don't know. It's going to be interesting because I think that what they're going to do is they're going to for Brady, they're going to take away his top wide receiver, and then he's going to end up doing a lot of dump off passes to the tight end, and same thing with likewise they're going to do the same thing to Mahomes in the first half of the game, and it's going to end up being something where Cleese, the tight end, is going to rack up a huge, maybe 140 yards somewhere in there. But I'm going to go with Kansas City for the win. I couldn't tell you what the score is going to be, but I think Mahomes is going to throw probably 4 or 5 touchdowns. I thought Marilyn Manson was probably a very boring person in real life. He's very intelligent. And when it comes to his persona about the weird, freaky person that he is, that's all been, it's all been choreographed, everything about it. You have to really sit down and watch some of the interviews of him and read about him as a business person. Very intelligent, and he's made a lot of really good decisions in this, in his professional life. Now, for what he's accused of doing now, that's a different thing. So I was saying I don't know if it's true or not at this point. I'm going to be starting up again very soon. Cool. Bit cray on here. It's always cray, Mel. Always. It's cool. Many subs from CC are subs too. Oh yeah. Well, I think CC needs about another 150,000 more subs, but just to start with. I just don't understand it, how some channels like CC's don't, and Mel's, and Red Rums, and Chatterbox, is just starting off herself. Why more people are not subscribing to these channels, I have no idea. And Linda Kay, well, not my verbiage. She did, she does a great job what she's doing. Drama must remain on stage. Good morning. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I try. My moderators and myself, we try to keep the drama to a minimum. Right now, I mean, you see K Love in the stream, but I know I have 2 other moderators who are here, but they don't ever comment. Devin is here. He'll pop in and say hi, and then that's it. He won't comment again throughout the entire stream. He just kind of sits here and watches it. But if he's on, I'm sure his wife is as well. If their channels are small, then YouTube doesn't push them. And it sucks, but true. It is. I would love to, I've really been chomping at the bit on this, but I would love to do a video, but I don't know where to put it. I had an in-depth conversation with YouTube about how they, as the start of 2021, how they are going through and they are actually looking at the interactions on channels and how they are determining if the channel is getting real views, or if it's a computer generated view or a computer generated subscriber, and how they're going through and they're deleting subscriptions and views from people. And it's surprising and how they're doing it. And I actually had, and I was, this is the best part of it, is I actually convinced the person that I was talking to with YouTube to send me a copy of the entire chat, everything, in an email. So I have it all. It was a 4-hour conversation off and on between 2 different YouTube help agents that, with YT help. But I don't know what to do with it. And if I made the video, it wouldn't fit on this channel. And I was thinking, well, maybe I could put it on my podcast channel or my Inebriated Truth, but it wouldn't fit there. So, and then I was thinking, well, maybe I could do like a live stream or something where me and a guest could go over it all. Oh, yeah, K-Love, they're deleting comments. Anything over 60 days that hasn't been replied to, that has been held in for review, gone. Anything that's 30 days that's that not being held for review, if it hasn't been replied to, gone. Anything that their new metric, for what they may be considered controversial or whatever, they're deleting it from the comment section. And I'm like, wow. It's like the other day, I realized that there were 7 people who are subscribers of my channel who were on my block list. They've been blocked from commenting. And I'm like, how would they get on there? So, obviously I clicked on them all and made it so they could actually appear. It's Red Rum. It's really shocking how they've decided that this is actually the right way to go, and that it helps clean up the system. I know I'm sitting there and I'm talking to them in this chat, and I'm talking to them and I'm like, but do you realize what this is going to do to some channels? They're going to see hundreds and hundreds of subscribers, vanish. I'll give you an example of this. Let's say, Red Rum, you make a video and you share that video on Twitter or on Facebook. All right. Somebody on Twitter or on Facebook watches that content. They like it, and then they click on subscribe. Now, the video is being hosted by YouTube, but it's being watched through Twitter or Facebook. If somebody clicks on that, and subscribes to your channel or gives it a thumbs up through Twitter or Facebook, YouTube system could determine that that is a computer generated like or subscription and delete it. That's just one example. Senator, how's your friend, the one that used to appear with you? Oh, Tim? Tim's doing good. Tim's up, he's at home, up by Seattle, helping take care of the grandbabies. His daughter is working now because she wasn't because of COVID and everything else, but she's back to work, and he's doing the best he can, getting along. It is until all this shakes out. It's going to be a rough ride for a lot of subscribers, and viewers out there. Yeah, that's why I keep on telling people you got to check your subscription to see if you're actually if my channel or whoever's channel is still showing up on the left hand side. If it's not there, then you're not subscribed to it anymore. And depending upon how you actually subscribed, through what venue. But it's crazy. They do things like this all the time. We'll never see channels get to the 40, 50 million subscriber count like Cutie Pie and and those other channels. We'll never see that again. Those days of the 40, 50 million subscribers are gone because they've put so many roadblocks in the way, of people just clicking on a link to subscribe because they're trying to get more subscribers than this other channel because they're in a challenge to be the first one to 40 million. We'll never see that again because doing something like that now is against YouTube's terms and conditions for subscribing. You can put a link, and ask people to subscribe in your comment section or in a live stream. You can do those, but you can't do it. Excuse me, what they were doing in spamming, all over the internet, trying to get to the 40 million subscriber count. Anthony Moore, you lost almost 100 subscribers. I'm sorry, Anthony Moore. In the last month, I'd say month and a half, I've lost about 1,500 subscribers. But it comes and goes. When it comes to subscriber numbers, and this is something for anybody out there that really wants to start a channel, and this is the honest to goodness truth. There are only 3 total metrics that when it comes to subscriber numbers, that you ever have to worry about. Get to 1,000, get into the YT, partner program so you can become monetized. That's number 1. The second one is 10,000. After 10,000, certain aspects of things are open to you, like the merch shelf and stuff like that, where you can generate more income and you have more freedom to do other types of videos, longer formats. And then the third is 100,000. After that, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you have 100,000 and 2. There is nothing between 100,000 and 40 million. Yeah, sure. You might get a nice plaque to put on the wall. I have one, not for this channel, but I have one in the house in a box that I got for, the longest yard when I was on there. But there's nothing out there for you. I mean, and when it comes to subscriber numbers, totals, I don't even look at the number, to tell you the truth. Yeah, I might notice when it goes down or up, but I don't notice the numbers because there's nothing to actually put, oh, that number went up by 1. Who was that person? Did I get a new subscriber? Unless I go and actually click on from the dashboard, recent subscribers, And then I go in and I say, oh, look, these ones subscribed in the last 7 days. And then I go in and every single subscriber, I go in and I check to see if they have a channel. And if they have a channel, I watch their videos. I really do. I watch every single channel that subscribes to me if they have content. And some do a really good job. Some need some help. And if I can reach out to them through their About Me, they have an email link, then I'll email them and say, hey, you're doing a great job. I love the content. You might want to think about doing this or that, but it's up to you. It's your channel and your content. Most have been very receptive to me, and offering my help and assistance. You've been very frustrated with YouTube for 2 years and not even being able to send my community a message. Yeah. See, before you get to 1,000, you have the discussion tab. And the discussion tab is, well, it's almost unused by anyone under 1,000 because they don't push you'll see that thing that pops up on so you go to your homepage, you'll see suggested videos, and you might, a whole bunch of channels, and then you might see maybe, one link or two sections of different channels you subscribe to their newest videos. And then you might see that section of community tab posts, recent ones, and they may not even be channels you subscribe to, but you will never find something from a channel with under 1,000 subscribers who has just a discussion tab. You'll never see anything in there, ever. It's not part of their system. They only share what recent community posts, not discussion posts. Me, I'm one who needs. Where did it go? There it is. Needs help. LOL. I just get my shoes together though, but bringing silly. Red Rob, you do a great job. I was telling you the other day, I found you on the internet. You were being promoted by a website called FeedSpot. I'm not entirely sure what they do, or if it's a paid service, or if you even knew you're on there. But if you go to Google or to Microsoft Edge, to the search box, and you type in your name, Red Rum, you type in the Red Rum, the channel name, and you scroll down, you'll see they'll come up towards the top, maybe within the top. Well, there are 5 or 6 different ones, but FeedSpot, and then you click on it, and type in Red Rum true crime, and that'll help limit the actual results. But you come up underneath that and on FeedSpot. So I wasn't even looking for your channel. I was looking for something else. I was researching a case, and I was like, wow, well, look, there's Red Rum. I don't know if that helps, if you're actually getting any views or anything from it. But again, like I said, I have no idea what they actually do. How many subs to get to the community post? To get the community tab, 1,000. Once you get to 1,000, it changes, the actual tab changes from discussion to community. Yeah, I'm still looking into it to figure out what the heck they do. But there was a whole bunch of channels that are on there that obviously are not active. They're older channels that they may have put out a video, or they may have put out content on true crime, but they've either switched gears to something else, or they just stopped posting content, or at least they hadn't posted anything recently, 6 months, 8 months. I have been lately, but I figured it was from my interview, an episode with Explore with us on Prism Reyes. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how they get their content or suggestions, but they're called Feed Spot, one word. Your voice is almost half of their video. I've never heard of Explore With Us. I'm gonna have to check them out. Red Realm was your first channel? They have over 1 million subs. I'll check them out. I just not. It's not clicking in my head right now. Maybe I have it. I have seen them. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. I'm gonna look at it really quickly. Oh yeah. All right. I know who they are. As soon as I put it into the search box and it brought up that wolf, I now know who they are. I've watched some of their content. Oh, I missed you. Hi, Lori Beth. Sorry if I missed you earlier. I'm pretty sure I did. I don't remember saying hello to you. Lisa Irwin. Love the narrative. Red Rum. It's good. That's cool. I'm off to bed. Bye, Memel. You have a good night, sweetheart. You guys hear the wind? Yeah. I can't do anything about that. My mom makes tamales. My son is addicted. He keeps asking me to tell her to make more. I said no, because it takes time. She can't be making them every month. Tamales are good though. I used to have she would see my sister's husband's mother, whatever relationship that would be. I'm terrible at them. But she used to make egg rolls for us. She'd make 200 or 300 at a time. And we would buy them, as long as we covered the cost and then gave her extra on top of it. And she'd be like, 200 egg rolls, $100. We were like, heck yeah. Kristalina, good morning. Hello, I've got my dad returned from the hospital, so I'm just listening. And you can, well, I hope your dad has a speedy recovery and he's not much pain, Kristalina. Mother-in-law once removed. I don't know. I'm terrible at it. I make mistakes like that. I try to avoid it. I'm like, my sister's kids obviously are my nieces and nephews, but I'm like, what is a niece's, husband's name? And I'm like, oh, I guess I have other things that fill that space in my head, that were, instead of like trying to remember what someone is a relation to me, I refer to people by their names, Bob, Sarah, whatever their name might be. Egg rolls are a favorite too. From Panda. What, Panda Express? We used to have a Panda Express here. I don't know if that's what you mean, but we used to. They're long gone. Morning, everyone. Crap, I hit the enter too soon. Good morning, Cece. All right. I'm going to check on this door really quick. Hold on. Yeah, not much I can do about that. It's I don't know what they call it. It's not a sliding glass, not a sliding door, like garage door. It opens like this, door, but it's two bifold doors on the garage that lead to a little storage area. But all I have is just a latch and a place where you put a lock. But the wind is just like just battering the crap out of it right now. You make lumpia. I fry frozen ones from Costco. You fry the frozen ones, lumpia. Yep. Eat a lot of lumpia. My sister's husband is Filipino, and they make a lot of lumpia and adobo. My wife loves adobo. Well, thank you for the super chat, Queen C. I appreciate that. It was really nice of you to do that. I appreciate it. Kevin's been trying for about a year to get my daughter to make him tamales. Your son wants soup. Be right back. Your mom doesn't mind, but she's has a lot going on besides being my son's tamale factory. Is everyone getting snow? Not here. Man, we're in the 50s here. Who did I miss? Oh, good morning, Chris. I'm doing better. My shoulder still is on the mend, but I'm doing as best I can. I hope you are. Hope you're staying safe and are well. Faithful one. Hi to Cece. Good morning, faithful one. It is snowing in eastern Michigan right now. Wow. You got about 4 inches on the ground. We get it where I live, Lori, right now. If we get, let's just say, 1/8 of an inch, there is a line that will line up around the block to get into the tire center here. If we get 1/8 of an inch of snow, because people they just lose their damn minds. And everywhere you go, you can't find any salt for your sidewalks to melt the ice. You can't go and find a shovel or a broom. Every store is sold out of brooms and shovels. And I mean, every store, hardware stores, Walmarts, every store is sold out. And then you'll find people on Craigslist immediately flipping them for double the price. No snow in Boise. Boise, Idaho is pretty. I like that area. No snow in Tulsa, Oklahoma either. You'd think Tulsa would have some snow. You want snow? You've been wearing shorts. I'm looking to move, LOL. The older I get, the more I'm so over it. I'm the opposite. I want to move back. I want to move back to Wisconsin, Minnesota, but I can't convince my wife to do that. She wants to stay out here on the west. Originally, we talked about moving back that way, but then she's like, well, I can't do it now because her grandparents were getting older, but they've all passed on now. And then she's like, well, I don't want to move because my mom, is here, and her mom is still here part of the year, but she's retired. But half the time she spends traveling, around the world. You bought new snow boots this year, so no snow. You jinxed it. I'm absolutely convinced of that. It works that way, Lisa. My wife, she bought a snowsuit for our son and snow boots. No snow. Year before, didn't have a snowsuit, didn't have snow boots, ton of snow. Let's swap. It snowed pretty heavy last night in Albion, New York, but today it's pretty calm. New York. I'm trying to think the last time I was in New York. 1990? 89? Been a long time. Been a long time. Well, no, I've been in New York since then because I went to the Baseball Hall of Fame, and when I was back there to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame, I had a friend who was living in New York City, New York at the time, but he is now in Wyoming. But he was living, I want to say, it was near Hell's Kitchen or someplace like that. It wasn't the best area. And he told me, it's like, if you rent a car, don't bring it here. Exactly how hot. Had old boots, lots of snow. New boots, dry. You're in Oklahoma City too? Warm and sunny in Sacramento. Connie, you want to go to Cooperstown? I went to Cooperstown to, well, obviously not only to see the Baseball Hall of Fame, but when I went there, I can't remember what year it was. It had to be in the 90s, maybe 98, 99, but I can't remember exactly when. Been a long time. But I went there because they did a special presentation for Shoeless Joe Jackson, and he got caught up in the White Sox scandal. In case anybody's not familiar with it, that's where the team, supposedly threw the World Series because they got paid to throw the World Series. But Shoeless Joe Jackson is the only one of only ones that was acquitted, and he actually hit above average for his position. He didn't throw the game. They were never able to prove that he did anything like that. But he's been barred from the Hall of Fame and from baseball. He's been long since dead, but they'll never let him into the Hall of Fame. You're a big Yankees fan? I think, did Jeter get in yet? I think he did. If he didn't, he should be. CC is all over snow. I hate it for my chickens and your little goat. We have to get ready for spring. Sacramento was the last place you lived before Boise. Who you got in the Super Bowl? You're going for Kansas City, of course. I think Kansas City's going to win it. I think they're gonna deny Brady the Super Bowl win. I'm picking Kansas City, 5 touchdowns from I don't know if they're going to run them all. I mean, they're all going to be receptions, but I mean they have a damn good running back and a tight end that is been pretty unstoppable this year. So and Mahomes is he's doing a damn good job. I think they're going to take it. I don't know by how much. It could be a close game, or it could be a complete blowout. Boots for sandals, or sandals for boots. She went from Sacramento to Boise, Idaho. I'd love to go home to California. Not out. Everybody I know that lives in California is leaving. It's not a joke. If they can get the hell out of California, they're leaving. The taxes that are being levied against businesses, and people who live in California right now, it's ridiculous. But I'm no joke. Everybody I know who can leave California is leaving. I thought it was just one of those fluke things, where a couple of big YouTube channels were, complaining and they were leaving. Nope. Everybody I know getting out. Your daughter lives in San Francisco. San Francisco's. I've had a lot of fun there. I wouldn't want to live there, but I've had a lot of fun there over the years. Connie Kelly left California. She hated it. California is bad, extremely expensive, especially if you bring in income. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading the thread, the comments here. Huh. Hibiscus Ivy, welcome. Sorry I missed you earlier. It's too hot and dry and the ground moves there. It's funny, Connie. I don't know. I don't know where if I could live anywhere. I mean, I would probably pick Wisconsin, but I have a lot of family and friends there. I've grown up with the weather, so that doesn't bother me. Outdoor recreation wise, there's more that is of an interest to me there than here. But your hubby wants to move to Wyoming or Montana, but you don't. Montana's pretty. Um, if I was going to move to Wyoming, I'd move to the Cheyenne area. But Montana, either the Helena area or Billings, if I was going to move there. It's not that bad there. I mean, it's definitely different than California, weather-wise. Either one, you move to Cheyenne or to Montana, you're gonna get, if you don't like snow, you're gonna get dumped on. If I could live anywhere, and still want to be in Georgia. Connie wants to go to New England. I don't know. I've been to when it comes to like the southern states, Georgia, and down there Mississippi, Florida, stuff like that. That what gets me is the humidity. I'm not a big fan of the humidity. Yeah, I know people get used to it, but I'm not a big fan of it. But I mean, it's very pretty there. There's lots to do there. Oh yeah, I've been to Georgia, the Atlanta area. Been to and when I was younger, my friend grandfather was one of the co-founders of the Rubbermaid company corporation. And he used to fly us from here down to his home in Mobile, Alabama. And when we'd get down to Mobile, Alabama. And then we would go all over wherever he needed to go for business. If it was in Georgia or Florida or New York or wherever it be, and he'd fly us on his personal jet. But we used to just hang out, spend the summers, down there at his grandfather's house. It was really cool because all his kids were all grown, and he had a huge house. I don't know if you'd call it a mansion, but it was huge. He was a very wealthy man, and he just wanted people to spend time with him. Just who didn't want something from him, and that was the major thing. Is everybody had their hands out, give me. But I think he passed away. I want to say mid 80s, early 90s, or somewhere in there, in that period of time. But he was a really nice guy. Had no idea what things cost in this world because, well, he hadn't had to pay for anything. And what he did have to pay for, I mean, he could tell you how much a company was worth or how much it costs to buy a new plane. But when it came to like the little things, like how much a gallon of milk cost, he had no idea. He used to give us like $100 and say, "Here, go see a movie." It's like, what? Cheyenne's windy all the time. You're outside of Atlanta, Georgia. It's pretty there. Maggie May. I'm not a fan of the humidity either, Will. I don't blame you, Maggie. Not a fan at all. And there's a different kind of humidity there as opposed to the humidity that you feel in the summertime in Minnesota, Wisconsin. It's not the same. It's hard. It's hard to explain unless you've actually experienced it. No, but I was going to say about New England. Hold on a second. We'll adjust this stupid strap. There. The New England. That's where Tim is from. He's from Maine, but Old Town, Maine. But he lived in New England for quite a few years. And he showed me some of the pictures of the different places that he used to live. Kevin lived in Massachusetts when he was in the Army, and he loved it. That's cool. Sticky. That would be the way to put it. Drama. Sticky. The humidity is sticky. Rapid City, South Dakota, best place to live. Snowstorms, but extremely low humidity. Rapid City. I haven't been to Rapid City I'm going to say, well, I didn't go this past year, 2020. 2018 was the last time I was in Rapid City. I was there at the Loyal Order of the Moose Lodge downtown, Rapid City. Nice town. City. Linda, good morning. Rupal, good morning. I'm doing as best I can, Rupal. Slowly getting better. Beautiful there. Yeah. I think when it comes to wherever you live, you have to make the best of it. Well, welcome to the stream. Linda Harper, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you could be here. Linda Jorgensen, good. Was that a mountain? You're in Ohio? Love it. Been to Ohio a lot, especially when I was younger. Yeah, Iowa, Ohio. Used to go there all the time. Especially when I was younger and before my father passed away. That if he found out that they were tearing down an old barn someplace, or there was some place to find wood, that was old growth timber. And if he found out about it, man, that man we'd jump in the car and he'd drive 500-600 miles easy just to go get wood, hauling our stupid flat trailer behind it all. Soup is done, and in the cast iron skillet is in triage. Lived in north central Pennsylvania, long hard winters, but worth it in the summers. You're from the Cleveland West Side. The Browns did pretty good this year, respectfully. After how many years of shuffling a million different quarterbacks in and out of the Cleveland Browns lineup, but they did pretty good with Baker Mayfield. Is it Mayfield? Baker Mayfield? I'm drawing a blank on it now. I know it's something like that. Life without a cast iron isn't worth living. Yeah, I have my cast iron pans. I don't allow anybody else to use them. My wife doesn't use them. My daughter, nobody's allowed to use my cast iron pans. They're on a baking rack that hangs in our kitchen. And nope, mine. Just like my wok. Love the Browns since he came on board. Are you live every Saturday? Yes, every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I do a stream, and then on Sunday night at 5 p.m. This Sunday we will be doing trivia. We're going to play a game of trivia on killer trivia. But yeah, every Saturday morning I do a live stream, and then on Sundays we do the killer trivia. Now I'm not sure what time normally we do it at 5, but I don't know if I'm going to be back in time tomorrow by 5, because I'm going to the viewing, I guess they call it, for friend of mine, Maggie, who passed away. I'm going to her viewing tomorrow, so I'm hoping I'll be back by 5. I should be done by 3, 4, somewhere in there. No one wants to use your cast iron skillet. Couldn't make a peanut butter brittle without iron skillets. Connie's just happy that the Buffalo Bills didn't make it to the Super Bowl. Oh, thank you, Linda. It happens. It's all part of life. I mean, I'm really sorry that that she passed. She was 1 in a million. And I met her, well, about 2.5 years ago. She was always there. She's a great soul. You've been wanting to walk, Lori Beth? I love my walk. I make a lot of stir fries and stuff like that, when we're at home. But me and my wife have been doing this Hello Fresh for about 3 months now. It's actually I don't know if it's the most cost effective, but it's definitely it's really easy to make. And especially if you're crunched for time like we are a lot. Well, I hope you know how much we appreciate all you do for us. Keep us informed. Well, thank you, Maggie. I appreciate it. I have Caleb. I have 2 sizes. One's a big one, probably about 16 inches across. And then I have a smaller one. It's about 10.5 inches. And we don't have gas. We have an electric range. So it actually has an adapter that goes around your actual electric element. So the wok sits on it. So it doesn't sit right on the actual burner itself. I can't remember where we bought them. I want to say it was like Bed Bath & Beyond or someplace like that. It was some kind of retail store. It wasn't on Amazon. I know that. Well, I have bought pans off of Amazon before, and I've never had good experience with it. I've been following the case of the missing little boys in California City. Yeah. That's Orrin and Orson West. Orrin and Orson. That's such a tragic case. I can't believe that when things like that happen, it's just like I try to put myself in that position, and what would I be doing if my son disappeared? Now, I'll tell you briefly, give you an example. Is my son? First off, my son is autistic. And he's speech delayed. So he probably has maybe 20, 25 words that he speaks. The rest of the time, you can't understand what he says. Nobody can. But he seems to know what he's saying. And when he meets someone who he doesn't know, he won't say anything at all. If something happens to him or he gets hurt, he won't say anything at all. He won't scream. He won't yell. He won't cry. He won't do anything. And that's alarming as hell. Now, one day he got out of the backyard and he took off down the street. And, I didn't know which direction he ran. And I ran down the street trying to find him. And if it wasn't for him finding some neighbor's, toys or something like that, I can't remember, it was something like that that actually made him stop and wanted to investigate it. I mean, but the panic that went through me that day, now I try to put myself in the position of assuming that when one or both of those adoptive parents are like me, and the the moment that a child goes missing like that, you lose your freaking mind. I mean, I know I did. I mean, I'm a pretty level-headed individual, but I'm like, immediately everything just floods through me. It's like, where'd he go? How did this happen? How can I, where'd he go? And I'm running up and down the street like a chicken with my head cut off, looking for a 4-year-old who, well, he was 3 at the time, but I'm like, how did he get out of the yard? Where's he at? What's going to happen to him? He's going to run out into the street. All these things just flood through me. Sad. I've been praying too, Connie, that they find him, and I hope it's a good conclusion that they do find him alive and well. When I first started looking into the case, I kept on thinking, look, there's a lot more to this than what we know, and there probably still is, but especially how quickly the biological family members of both of these little boys showed up at the house that night to scream at the adoptive parents about where are the boys. I was like, the first thing that came to my mind was, I'd be looking at that family, those family members, and who's not there screaming at them, who's not there demanding everything, where they. MT, your son is autistic as well. He used to be nonverbal, but speaks a lot now. Look into Angel Sense. It's a GP tracking device that you can wear on his belt. Only you can remove it with a key. I'll look into that, MT. We don't. I mean, he ain't gonna get out of the yard again, but because I found out how he got out. But yeah, it's and there's a case that I covered on my channel about a boy from South Carolina who went missing and was eventually found dead. Maddox Scott Rich. And so many people, gave me such a hard time about, covering that case. But it was like every day I looked into and researched that case. All I could see was my own son, and they're like, well, why didn't the dad take off after this kid? Why didn't they do this? How could it be? And and then it didn't help that there was some stupid park ranger who worked in that park who absolutely lied to authorities about, saying he never saw the kid with the father, that, when he saw the car pull into the parking lot, that, there was no kid with him. I mean, and that threw off the investigation. In the early, hours of the investigation, they turned and said, okay, it's not the park. And they started looking at, his home and everything else. And that poor father went through hell for something that, he couldn't control because of the lies of one person who just wanted to get on television. He recanted it all later and admitted that, he never was there at the park to see the father pull in, or anything else, but he lied about the entire thing. And for 2 days, they spent their time, instead of putting all their research in, searching that park where Maddox Scott Rich went, missing. They spent half their time there and half their time at the home in searching the area, which was like 6 miles away. They spent their time looking for the child there, and investigating and doing what's going on with the California case, where they were doing ground penetrating radar, looking for anything under the ground instead of looking where they should have had their attention, because of one person who lied about the entire thing. And it's sad. But they eventually found Maddox Scott Rich. He ran through the woods and he tripped and fell into a creek and ended up drowning. The father was completely cleared of it. Since then, he's had more medical complications because he had I'm trying with it neuropathy in both of his feet. I think he may have lost one of his feet. One foot may have been amputated, but I'm not entirely sure. The last report I saw on it was he was supposed to be going in for it, but he was there in that park that day with his son walking because you have to walk, and that was part of his physical therapy was to keep active and moving, so he didn't lose his feet. December 21st. Yeah, those are the two California boys that went missing. Maddox Scott Rich is a case that I covered about a year, almost 2 years ago, from South Carolina or North Carolina. I can't remember exactly right now, but it was one of the Carolinas. I believe that anyone that hurts a child cannot be rehabilitated. It takes a special kind of fucking idiot to hurt a child. Sorry for my language, but it does. I'll never understand how anybody can ever raise their hand in anger at a child. Some people are convinced that children are born evil. I don't understand how they can determine that either. Because children are they're influenced by their surroundings and how they're treated. Then no one is born evil. I mean, if you look at the history, even of all serial killers, I mean, they didn't start off that way. I mean, Ted Bundy didn't start off, killing women and abducting them. He started off as a well-adjusted young man, and everything was going along great until he went off the rails because of his fascinations with certain things. Well, thank you for the super sticker, Sandra. The Skeleton Brothers. I want so badly for those two kids to be found alive and well. Same here. I do. That's why I haven't covered it right now. It's almost impossible to document much more than I found some information out about the parents, but nothing that the adoptive parents, but nothing in the background comes up as alarm bells. That says whoop whoop whoop. These people shouldn't have had kids. They both work. They both seem to do their live their lives, and they were doing it right. They were both cleared by they had background checks and everything else done for them. I looked into everything I could on that case, but then I said, well, there's nothing I can do here, nothing more that I can document in this case. So I just didn't cover it. Children are born innocent. They are definitely influenced by their environment. There's some mental disorders from birth, but God doesn't create evil children. Absolutely true. That's true, MT. But yeah, he did. He had, was his mother or aunt that he used to put knives around her bed, lay them around her when she slept. I think it was his mom that he used to do that to. Ted Bundy. Not everyone deserves kids. We need a license to fish, but not to have kids. That's an interesting way to to look at it. No one is given a handbook on how to raise children either. I'm not saying that it was adoptive parents. It has been laid on them because of their actions afterwards. I can tell you two things, definitely. Especially when it comes to those two boys from California that went missing. If the police came to me and they said, "You need to stay in your home. We're going to, so we can contact you," I would look at my wife and I'd say, "You stay here. I'm going regardless." That'd be number one. And then when I got back, she could go look for him, or we'd both go look for him and say, "Here's my cell phone number. Call me," or whatever. But I wouldn't care what the police said about staying in my home. You couldn't keep me there. And the other thing is, for the cup, for the adoptive parents, I never would have done that interview. That was the wrong thing to do. I would have released a statement to the media, and then that's it. I never would have done that interview because it didn't make them look good at all. Al Starches was having an affair, but that was no excuse for Letitia. Did that beautiful little boy? That's another case that I haven't covered. I'm sorry, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything from the comments. Well, thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the content of the channel. Break time, more coffee. And I hope my wife made more coffee because I forgot to. As you can see from behind me, I was going to. I'd have to go into the house to make coffee because I forgot I bought whole beans this month instead of ground coffee, so I'd have to go in there and use the coffee grinder, grind it, and everything else. There's another new case in Placeville, California, similar to Letitia Stoss, parents poisoned. Yeah, you're talking about Gala. I have a video on that is on my channel right now. That is Lopez, Ramon Lopez. Yep. But I have that video done. That will be released on Monday. Yeah, the wind. You wish you had a wife to make you coffee? I don't even know if she's awake yet. She probably isn't even awake. She didn't get off work until midnight last night. She has several employees, who are, because my wife's in management, several employees who are out with COVID. So, whenever somebody is out, she has to pick up the slack. Somebody has to do it. or a man would do. Yep, Ramon Lopez. My son and his family live right by there. Yeah. Yeah, I have that. But Gayla, I'll have that video on Monday morning. You love your Keurig? I drink way too much coffee to have a Keurig. I'd just be sitting there and just be pushing the button, cup after cup after cup. I once had a man who lived who would make me coffee, but he didn't work. Yeah, we drink a lot of coffee and a lot of tea around here. My wife has they're part of a tea club, simple loose leaf tea company, I think it's called. They love that. They love that tea. They get different samples of tea, every month, and they get the reusable tea bags. And then I subscribe to Black Rifle Coffee Company's monthly coffee. I get 2 pounds at a time, but I'm gonna have to change my subscription to up it to 3 pounds at a time, because 2 pounds doesn't get us through a month. Morning, Hillary Jane. Welcome to the stream. I look forward to your videos. They are always good. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate it, Gayla. Yorkshire tea is great. You know what I just learned yesterday was about black tea, and how black tea is made. I had no idea. I've never been a tea drinker. My husband just brought me in coffee for me. He's so sweet. Oh, that's cool. It's really nice of him. Tell him thank you from all the community chatterbox. The case about Skelton brothers are 3 missing brothers from Michigan. Well, I wrote it down. Skeleton brothers. I'll look into it, Lori. So far I've got the Rose and Fred West from the UK, Todd Colhip from South Carolina, Kim Wall, murder, Heaven spelled backward, from Monroe. Check out Explore With Us channel, some more, and Skeleton Brothers. I haven't been out yet, but going to look for Lady Earl Grey. Your wife likes. Oh yeah, I think she was just talking about that Short Nights on her podcast. She really likes that stuff. The West murders were horrific. Yeah, I'm going to look into it. I see you. Yorkshire. I'm sure my wife would like something like that. Or maybe they get it. I don't know. I just know we get 2 boxes a month that come that are different teas. And I think it's $10 a month or somewhere right in there for the subscriptions. But they go through it between my wife, my daughter, my niece, my sister. There's so many people who come over to the house that drink tea. They go through it pretty quick. And they like that they can get different samples of different they're from around the world. They're not all just domestic teas. I would like to know what happened to Heather Elvis. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Heather Elvis. I'll look into it, Connie. Joined a whiskey club once. It was very pretentious, so you left. Like Earl Grey, also in cinnamon stick and mint tea. My sister drinks a lot of mint, but it's I think it's a chocolate mint. She has her own little canister. It's in the our cabinet. We have an entire cabinet in our kitchen that is just tea. Everything from English breakfast teas to Earl Greys and oolongs. They have all kinds of tea in there, but the entire cabinet is just teas. And then they have an entire setup on the counter next to the stove where they have their turbinado sugar, and other things that they add to tea, and then their teaspoons and so on, and tea balls. They have a whole lot of tea stuff. Jasmine tea. Yeah, I think she was talking about how much she was disappointed by in last podcast about the lavender tea, how much of a disappointment it was. Or it was no, it wasn't lavender. It was I should know this too. Wasn't poinsettia. It's a damn bush. Lilac. Lilac. She was disappointed with the lilac tea. See, Short Nice remembers. It was right there. Short Nice, it was right there on the tip. I was like, I got it though. Tea drinkers rock. Yeah, her stepfather. He goes through a 64 count box of Lipton. He really likes Lipton hot tea, but he'll go through a box of 64 tea bags of Lipton a week. That man drinks tea nonstop. It's always got to be hot. Can't stand cold tea. Check out the Beaver channel. Oh, Leave It to Beaver. Love me, my Beaver. Love what she's doing over there. If you guys want to check out some great channels, go to my home, the YouTube homepage and scroll all the way to the bottom. And there's an entire section there of channels that I suggest. You'll find CC, Mel, Leave It to Beaver, Red Rum, Chatterbox, Pretty and Camo. There are a whole bunch of channels there and if you refresh the page and look at it, the list changes because I can only present 10 at a time until I get to, I think it's based on how many I think channel members or subscribers or something. I can't remember exactly, but it only lets you show 10 at a time. So there'll be an arrow you can click to scroll for more. But I actually have 25 total channels in there. But I was saying, if you refresh the page, it'll show it. Sometimes it'll show you more of those of the other 15 that are not showing. I wish I liked tea, but my grandma used to make me drink it when I was sick. So to me, tea equals sick. Oh, I'm sorry, Linda. Well, tea's not for everybody. I've never been a big tea drinker. I mean, like hot tea. I like, cold tea. Nothing beats a good, sweet tea, Southern sweet tea. But real sweet tea is, different from what a lot of people think it is. They're like, it's got a little bit of sugar in it. It's great. No, it's not the same. Sun tea, I guess, would be closer to it because it brings out the flavor more of the tea than than something you would domestically buy in a container with high fructose corn syrup in it. I stay away from high fructose corn syrup. Not that there's anything wrong with high fructose corn syrup. I just don't like it. I wish I liked tea. Yeah, but wish you liked tea. I like tea after a big meal. It settles your stomach. Nurse Bev, and good morning, Nurse Bev. Sorry if I missed you earlier. I hope you are doing well today, and welcome to the stream. Well, our Kansas daughter-in-law makes sweet sun tea. Now, I have a one of those big sun tea jars, and then I have what you can buy them in the supermarket. They're pickles, but they come in a freaking huge glass jar. How would maybe they're like a gallon or plus, glass jar. But I washed them out and I took the labels off of all of them, and I've used them to make sun tea. I'll put Earl Grey bags of tea in there and some Lipton, and then I'll throw lemons and lime in it, and then I put it out in the sun. That's good tea right there. You put sugar in hot tea? Bye, Sandra. Strong hot tea. Hey, Soccer Mom of One. Hey, y'all, I'm back. Welcome to the stream this morning, Soccer Mom of One. I hope you are doing well. What if the wind's dying down? I don't hear it howling anymore. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but I don't hear it howling anymore. Sorry about it clambering that stupid door. I got to do something about it. I've been thinking about putting a rod through the door on the outside, like what they have for gates where you pull up on it out of a hole. I've been thinking about doing that because there's no other way to secure the door any more than it is. It's just a little external shed that's on this side of this garage. And then I have another 2-car garage that sits next to it. So it's like in between. The only thing that's in between them is, well, basically junk. Broken lawnmowers and projects that I'm going to get to someday. I keep on telling myself that they're on my personal list of things to get done. I have one of those glass jars. I transported my homemade chili in it to potlucks. That's cool. We have there's an I want to say it's by Sunbeam Company Corporation, but it's kind of like a crock pot, but you can actually and you take it out of it slides into, it's like an insert that slides into the ceramic crock pot itself, and it's got a lid that snaps down on all 4 sides, so on the ends plus the 2 sides, and it makes like a seal on it, and so you can pick it up out of the ceramic, so it's not so that extra heavy weight of it. And then then put it inside of another crock pot, that's the same, but you can separate them so it's not all in one unit. It's actually pretty cool. I think we got that off of Amazon or something like that, but they're actual inserts that snap into it. They're made of a thick plastic that slides inside of it. I'm surprised they never melt. Nurse Bev, she is 26 and is an operating room nurse. Well, make sure Soccer Mom One, you tell your daughter thank you for her what she's doing right now. People in the medical community and in law enforcement don't get enough gratitude for what they're doing, especially during all this pandemic and everything else that's going on. She moved to a better hospital, but it's a 6-hour plane ride away. My daughter is working on getting her RN. She's an end of life care nurse right now. But she'll eventually get her RN. She likes what she does. I don't know if she's going to stay into life care, but she enjoys it. Greetings, Yellow Lemons. Well, you're here meeting this at the end of the stream. But you can watch the entire thing in rewind. It'll be on my channel here in just a little bit. But everyone, I have to say goodbye. I really appreciate everybody for stopping by today, and for those who sent super chat or got super stickers, I really do appreciate it. Again, and so tomorrow, I'm hoping that I can do my the trivia true crime in rewind at 5, but I don't know. Again, I'm going to a viewing tomorrow for a dear friend of mine who passed away, and I should be back and be able to do it by 5. But otherwise, it will happen, but it might just happen a little bit later, than 5 o'clock. But I'll post it in the community tab if it's going to be delayed by any length of time at all. But again, everyone, thank you again for being here, and you all have a great day today. And make sure you find someone, daughter, husband, sister, brother, cousin, uncle, someone, the neighbor next door. I don't care. Hug somebody and tell them you appreciate them today. And have a great day.